Guys, I'm skipping all the usual beginning stuff. We're skipping all that today. We're diving right into it because this is some pretty big news. Vince McMahon possibly wrestling at WrestleMania. This is something I hope is not true. This is something I hope that the rumor goes down a different direction. Because when we think about Vince McMahon possibly wrestling at WrestleMania, I really think back to the last time that he wrestled. That was 2010 WrestleMania 26 versus Bret Hart. That was the last time. 12 years ago. Mr. McMahon is 70 plus years old now. And look, is there somebody on the roster where this would make sense? Yes. Austin Theory. They've been going back and forth for a while as far as Mr. McMahon trying to teach him things, giving him certain matches, telling him this is the way you're supposed to act. This is what you're supposed to do after you beat somebody. Go tear Finn Balor apart. Attack Finn Balor, so on and so forth. So it could. That's a possibility. But is that what we really need to see Vince McMahon in? No. Absolutely not. Now, if he's in the same type capacity as what he was in at WrestleMania 23, where he was going in a battle of the billionaires, hair versus hair matchup, which spun off the McMahons and Umaga rival versus Bobby Lashley, that would be different. Because at WrestleMania 23, Mr. McMahon got his head shaved bald, and Austin was the referee, and all different types of stuff. So it would be different if we saw something like that this year. And I'm not saying that we should bring back Donald Trump or some other billionaire or something like that. I'm not saying that whatsoever. But he's on the Pat McAfee show this week, and this coming week. And let me tell you, if it spuns off a rival, I hope it's similar to WrestleMania 23, where Pat McAfee is in one corner and Mr. McMahon is in another corner, and they both have somebody wrestling for them. Now, who could that be? There's only one person that absolutely 100% makes sense, and that is Austin Theory for Mr. McMahon. 100% makes sense. Well, some might ask, what about Pat McAfee? Now, I've heard people talk about, put Cody Rhodes as it. Put Cody Rhodes as the opponent. Cody Rhodes. All the rumors about him coming to WWE, WrestleMania would be a great spot. I don't think so. I've said it time and time and time and time and time again until I'm blue in the face. Cody Rhodes would be a great spot for the Raw after Mania. The Raw after Mania is supposed to be the biggest Raw of the entire year. Filled with surprises, filled with great moments. You got the hottest Raw in the entire year as far as fans is concerned. Put Cody Rhodes as that one of the big moments then. It just makes sense to me. I've been saying that for quite some time now. I even said that about the whole RK Bro thing if they are on the verge of breaking them up. That should be the Raw after Mania. They should win the tag titles at when Alpha Academy defends them in a couple of weeks. RK Bro should capture them, and it should be RK Bro versus the Usos at WrestleMania and unify the tag team titles. Usos win. Then RK Bro breaks up Raw after Mania, if that is the direction that they are going, as far as unifying the titles and RKO splitting. But, wrestling fans, let me tell you, as far as Mr. McMahon and Austin Theory is concerned, that would be a perfect choice for Mr. McMahon. But who would he go against? If it's not Cody Rhodes, who would it be? Pat McAfee on the outside, if Pat McAfee is not the one that's wrestling. If he's the one that's wrestling, then okay. But if he's not, and he's on the outside, who would that be? Well, I know what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Damian Priest. I'm thinking United States title on the line in this matchup where Pat McAfee has somebody and Mr. McMahon has Austin Theory. Put Damian Priest in the matchup as well and have the United States Championship on the line. The U.S. title on the line where we see Austin Theory. And I'm a huge Damian Priest fan, don't get me wrong. But I think it's time for Damian Priest to do something more important than the U.S. title. So we see Austin Theory become the United States champion, with Mr. McMahon holding his hand up instead of the referee, solidifying him as one of the guys in WWE. As if we don't already know that as one of the newcomers, because he's already being paired up with Mr. McMahon. But this would solidify Austin Theory as one of the new up-and-coming guys in WWE by doing that. And as far as Damian Priest is concerned, of course he would too, because he's moving on to something that is more important. And he had that long streak of not being pinned or anything at all. Okay, so he's okay too. Yeah, he hasn't been booked the best as of late over the last few weeks, but he's okay too. Okay, they need contenders, top contenders for Roman Reigns after he beats Brock Lesnar and unifies the title. Well, who's that going to be? AJ Styles, Seth Rollins again, he's on the spot. Gotta have somebody else on Raw when they're going back and forth. Damian Priest can be another one. Sure, that would be a guaranteed loss, but building up, don't have him be the very first person that Roman Reigns faces on Monday Night Raw. That's the way I would go down for this Vince McMahon rival. Okay, I would not have Vince McMahon wrestle whatsoever. Okay, at WrestleMania 38. It is way past that. Way past that. It is not the right time. But y'all let me know what you're thinking in the comments below. Do you want to see Vinnie Mac get inside the squared circle and go one-on-one against somebody? Do you want to see the type of scenario that I just laid out for you all for WrestleMania 38? I, for one, think that would be a great night one matchup for WrestleMania. Because let's be honest here. Ever since they started doing these two-night events, not one has gotten the shaft that they have. So that would be a great match for night one, to have to load that a little bit, put that type of match on there, and you can still have your big time matches as well on night two. But you could have the McMahon matchup, and you could have the Edge and Styles matchup too for night one. That's what I would do, wrestling fans, because you need that pure wrestling match on night one, and you need that pure good wrestling match for night two as well. So I hope they give us two of those type matches for WrestleMania. We know one of them's coming, Edge versus whoever he's facing, and we know that's going to be AJ Styles probably. But y'all let me know what you're thinking in the comments below about WrestleMania, everything that's going on with it, how they're turning it into a celebrity type mania, how it's having a lot of one-off matches, how Vince McMahon possibly could be wrestling, or this scenario. Which one would you rather have? Let me know in the comments below. Subscribe. And until I see you again, this is Webby, and I'll catch all of you on the other side. Talk to you later.